I'm here to bring you some very exciting news. I just got a time machine. It's a small one, only about 5.5 by 7 inches. And well, let me get to that later, but first let me just say that this is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet, full of all the stuff that I love. And today, I get shafted. Let's check it out. Today's film is Shaft from 1971, 100 minutes in color. And this is about a black private eye in New York City, 1971, who is hired by a mob boss to find his kidnapped daughter. And then along the way, he gets involved in a turf war between these two mob syndicates. Now, I'll be honest, going into this, I had really low expectations. I had heard some really negative things about this film, that it wasn't very good. I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun I had watching this and how good a film it really is. It was a big hit too, by the way. The director was Gordon Parks, who had made a previous film, and he was a novelist as well. And he had a background in photography, and that really shows in this film from the way he composes his shots and his shot selection. And it looks very good in that respect. He wanted to make a film with a black action hero. And considering what was going on in the United States at this time with civil rights, the Black Panther movement, Vietnam, it was really a interesting choice to have this. And a lot of people interviewed in the extras in this film say they had never seen a black action hero like this on the screen before. It was very influential. More about its influence later. Visually, it's gritty. It's the colors are very saturated, which looks really cool. It's grainy, a lot of handheld motion to get you right in the action and build up the tension. And surprisingly noirish. I didn't expect that at all. I expected more of a cop film. Richard Roundtree plays the title character. He's very charismatic. His character is in command throughout the film. He doesn't take any crap, no matter if they're rich or poor, or black or white, and he just is in charge, and he says what he means, and he goes after what he wants. He's got a moral code, and he gets right to the point, and he has a couple of sexual encounters, which I thought were going to be a little more exploitative. They weren't. There's barely any nudity in here at all. But, you know, a lot of women want him. After all, his name is Shaft, right? Another main character in this film is New York City. Its presence is always felt throughout this film. It's grimy looking. It's shot on location, the whole film. It's gritty. It looks lived in, and it's noisy. Whether they're shooting inside or outside, you hear the sounds of the city in the background. So it's always a presence in this film, and that adds a lot to it as well. Also adding a lot is the famous music from the film by Isaac Hayes. The theme song, I mean, if you're going to watch this film, be prepared to have that theme song in your head for at least a week. It won an Oscar as Best Theme Song. It was very influential for other music. I like soul music a lot, and it made me think about one of my favorite soul music artists, Curtis Mayfield, who did the music for Superfly, which was also known as what they call blaxploitation. I don't understand that term very well. This is considered the first blaxploitation film. There were others like The Mac and Coffee that came along after this, and Superfly, of course. I don't think it's exploiting them, because I think it celebrates them. And a lot of black people that are interviewed, like I said on the features, were just entranced by this character and really impressed with Shaft. There's a sequence in here where there's an Isaac Hayes song called Soulsville. I had never heard of it, and they play the whole song through with a montage, and it's really effective. And it's one of those songs, sort of like Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, that has a lot of social commentary in it, and that's a real highlight of the film as well. So the reason I say this is a time capsule is because the lovely Mrs. Kazdoy Closet walked in while I was watching this film. I was about in the middle of it, and she heard that music, not the Shaft theme, but the similar music going on, and she looked at me and I said, "Yep, I'm watching Shaft." She knew right away. She was transported to that time and place, and that type of film. So I thought that was pretty cool and pretty impressive that you could hear just at maybe 30 seconds she was there hearing that, and she knew right away that's what this is, and that was pretty cool. So Shaft, had a whole lot of fun watching this. I'm going to give it 4.5 trench coats, because that's what Shaft wears. He's got the leather trench coat, also known as a duster, sort of like what they wear in those Sergio Leone westerns. And he's got the turtleneck, and he's got the shoulder holster. And in fact, that fashion influenced a lot of people, and a lot of people went out and bought clothes like that. So 4.5 trench coats out of 5. And at this point is where I usually would say, what's on this disc? But wait, there's more. Because if you open up the case, there's a second film. And that second film is a sequel. Shaft's Big Score is included with the original Shaft. It's from 1972, so a year later, 100 minutes in color. And this is about one of Shaft's friends who dies, and along with his death, he hides $250,000. Well, there's a couple of crime syndicates that not only want this guy's turf, but they also want that $250,000. Gordon Parks returns as a director. Richard Roundtree returns as Shaft. Same writer, same cinematographer, and yet, for me, this was a big letdown, a big misfire. I was pretty disappointed with this one. It's missing that visual style. It's missing the New York City locations. Even though it still takes place there, the grittiness and the griminess and the noise and the feeling of New York is not there. It's too brightly lit. There's too many nice apartments. Roundtree has, I think, less screen time in this one too, which is unfortunate. So it turns into kind of a standard, private eye cop movie, really. And I think the original Shaft was lightning in a bottle. It captured it so well. So even with the same people involved, it just doesn't have the same flavor or the same essence. Also missing, Isaac Hayes did not do the music, and that's when you realize how important the music was in the original. There's no moment where they're playing a song like Soulsville with a montage and the social commentary. Instead, there's a montage with a love song that's kind of insipid and pedestrian. And then the theme song itself to Shaft's Big Score is trying to copy the original Shaft theme and just falls on its face. It even includes a line, if I'm remembering it right, that was something like, he's a real cool dude who shovels his food. So that's pretty lame, I thought. So my rating for Shaft's Big Score, a generous 2 trench coats out of 5. There was another one after this in '73 called Shaft in Africa. I'm not familiar with that one at all. But since that one is not shot in New York City at all, I have a feeling it probably is not that great. So what's on this disc? Well, there are the 2 movies. This is a Criterion disc, and there's a booklet inside. It's one of those fold-out booklets that I don't care for. And there's a whole lot of extras. There's just so many. One on Gordon Parks, the director. There's a recent interview with Richard Roundtree, and you'd think he's going to be like this heavy, serious guy. He's very friendly, very loose, very affable. There's one on the costume design, which I kind of enjoyed because I don't know anything about costume design, and they showed some of the original clothing Shaft was going to wear, and boy, it does not work at all. So, they made a good choice with the trench coats and the turtlenecks. There is a feature on the Shaft Legacy. There's a feature on black detective novels with Walter Mosley, the writer, involved. The Shaft Legacy feature has Samuel L. Jackson, who played Shaft in a remake and insisted Richard Roundtree be in the remake, which was very cool. And I'm sure there's some more. There's one on the music as well, a feature on the music. And there's probably some other ones too that I'm missing. But there's a lot of stuff on here. So, where can you see this? Well, the sale right now is going on at Barnes & Noble. You can get this for $20. You can also see it on the Criterion channel, the streaming service, if you have that. You can rent it, and you can try your local library. So, hope you enjoyed Shaft as much as I did, and feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion down below here. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Getting close to 275 subscribers. Wow, thank you so much. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.